It's possible that Vermeer was using technology to make these beautiful paintings. It's possible he could paint some pretty remarkable pictures without a lot of training. It's possible that he was more of an experimenter, more of a tinkerer, more of a geek. And in that way, I feel a kinship with him because I'm a computer graphics guy and we use technology to make a realistic, beautiful image. And it's possible that's exactly what Vermeer was doing.
Bullshit! 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 Hi, I'm Penn, and this is my partner, Teller.
Over the past 4 decades, Penn Jillette and Raymond Teller have become one of the world's most recognizable magic acts and comedy duos. And even when they're not performing their long-running Vegas stage show, you've likely seen them pop up in countless feature films, TV shows, and documentaries. Clearly, they stay pretty busy juggling many overlapping projects with their hectic family lives, but there came a time where Penn needed an outlet, an old friend he could meet up with and just shoot the shit. And that friend was Texas-based inventor and entrepreneur Tim Jennison.
He explained that he just needed somebody to talk to.
I love being with my family. I love work. But I also sometimes need to be out with a friend talking about something else.
He didn't want to talk about politics. He didn't want to talk about show business.
And I asked Tim, just tell me something. And Tim started on this whole story of Vermeer.
17th century Dutch painter Johannes Vermeer is one of the most acclaimed and recognized artists of the Baroque period, even though such acclaim didn't happen until long after his death. A master of light and shadow, Vermeer's distinguished style embraced a type of hyper-photorealism that has left many art critics baffled. Yet with hardly any existing evidence of formal artistic training, Vermeer's life and work has been shrouded in mystery. In the early 2000s, British architect and professor Philip Stedman wrote Vermeer's Camera, a controversial book that suggested that Vermeer's so-called artistic genius could be due to his possible usage of a camera obscura to assist him in his painting process, which is actually a theory that has been tossed around since sometime during the 1800s. It was around the time Stedman's book was released that Tim Jennison, who, like Stedman, was not an artist in the traditional sense, also became obsessed with this Vermeer theory after reading British painter David Hockney's book, Secret Knowledge, that theorized that many Renaissance and Baroque artists were able to achieve hyper-realistic painting styles with the assistance of lenses and other optical tools. This all became a bit of an obsession for Tim Jennison, so once he excitedly forwarded all this knowledge to his old friend and world-famous skeptic, Penn Jillette, over dinner one night, a fascinating new documentary was born. As Penn and Teller started rolling cameras, Tim's Vermeer obsession became all-consuming, and because he's a wealthy software developer, he had the time and the money to pursue this years-long endeavor of recreating a classic Vermeer painting completely from scratch, even though Tim himself had barely ever picked up a paintbrush in his life. He began his journey with some experimentation, setting up a simple orientation of mirrors and a reference photo of his own father-in-law, and painting a near-perfect duplicate.
It took him 5 hours. Not bad for a first oil painting.
Once that was a success, Tim continued this ambitious experiment by actually traveling to Holland to get a real first-hand immersion into Vermeer's world. He studied the architecture, learned how to read Dutch, and was even shown how to make homemade oil paints the same way artists back then would have done it. He wanted to be as accurate to Vermeer's time period as possible, so he only used resources that Vermeer would have had access to, and that includes custom-made optical lenses that Vermeer could have possibly used in his own camera obscura type apparatus. Tim chose to recreate Vermeer's The Music Lesson, a piece that perfectly encapsulates Vermeer's masterful use of light, shadow, color, and depth. And after renting out a warehouse in San Antonio, Texas, he spent over 200 days constructing a period-accurate and nearly identical carbon copy of the room from the painting. After then having to tweak his optical setup, he then gets to work on his own painting. Now the big question is, will he succeed at recreating Vermeer's The Music Lesson? What, you think I'm going to tell you here? That's what the documentary is for.
Fucker.
Tim's Vermeer got rave reviews after premiering at the Toronto International Film Festival in September 2013, where it got picked up by Sony Pictures Classics for a limited theatrical run in early 2014 and then a Blu-ray release later that same year. Now, if you think this documentary sounds intriguing, then I highly recommend picking up the Blu-ray because it comes loaded with so many special features. The film itself is just the tip of the iceberg, and it all begins with an awesome audio commentary recorded by Tim Jennison, along with Penn Teller and producer Farley Ziegler. We're then presented with a huge offering of extended, alternate, and deleted scenes that, when put together, run almost 3 hours long, which is nearly twice the runtime of the film itself. We also get a 20-minute Q&A session from the film's Toronto Film Festival premiere and the original theatrical trailer. Penn and Teller have done a fantastic job with Tim's Vermeer by laying out an intriguing theory and backing it up with compelling evidence. But all the little details aside, it's really just a perfectly executed story about one man's obsession and not giving up on a vision, no matter how many obstacles get in the way. Of course, having a lot of money surely helps in pursuing such a huge goal, but that's beside the point. At the end of the day, it's just a delightful, breezy watch that has shed some new light on art history. So I'll give Tim's Vermeer a 5 out of 5 final recommendation.
But if anything falls askew, the painting's in no danger, is that correct?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But, I can always start over.
Upon its release, Tim's Vermeer did not come without a dash of controversy. Much like how Penn and Teller themselves are well known for their skepticism, so too were some art critics and historians, who went so far as to call the entire film a hoax. But Penn is on the record for debunking the accusations, while others have said that the film shamefully attempts to strip away Johannes Vermeer's reputation as a significant artistic genius, which is just an absurd claim. Even if it's true, and it's seemingly more and more likely that it is, that Vermeer may have manufactured some kind of special optical device to assist in his paintings, that still makes him quite a genius for his time if you ask me. And if Tim's Vermeer has any sort of message, it's that Vermeer was pretty forward-thinking, and that he could see, even way back then, that art and technology have much more in common than you'd think.
Holy cow.
It took me about half an hour to learn how to operate a paintbrush.
Uh-huh. Oh, good for you. It took me 40 years.